I'm going to talk about the 5 things that are so exciting that are coming up for me here while I make one of the easiest recipes of all time. Let me just watch this. I'm going to use sesame oil today. We don't have to talk about seed oils today. You're going to use a seed oil, organic toasted sesame oil, exceller pressed. This is like a great option. And I'm going for some flavor today. Let me wash my hands while I do that, okay? Because they have raw chicken on them. How is everyone? What is happening in your neck of the woods, as they say? Um, it is so hard for me not to lead with world events. Hi, Carol. How is everyone? Because there's just no ignoring what is happening in our country today. So, I get on here and do my thing, but I'm also down the rabbit hole of what's happening because it's just impossible to go about our business, I think, without paying attention, right? So every time I get on here to talk about cooking, I'm constantly thinking about one, could this be a nice break to your day? And two, hi Michelle, thanks for joining. Two, what's my second point? Don't we all need to eat, right? And to feed ourselves and to take a moment to kind of reset. So no matter what you're up to with your time and today and how you're choosing to show up in the world, we gotta eat, right? So let me get rid of this chicken cutting board. And I'm gonna dive right into one of my favorite recipes that I think this recipe really reflects me well because it's kind of everything that I'm about. It's really good for you. Hi, Hannah. It is easy to make. I'm using some leftover great ingredients, and you can have a really nourishing lunch that's high in protein and fiber in like a matter of minutes. And that's my kind of cooking. And so, California fried rice is something I just coined it that because you guys, it is just a bunch of ingredients. It's like very produce forward. It was something fun to call it, considering I live here and you have access to so much great produce. It's not traditional, let's put it that way. So I am using sesame oil for flavor today, and I might actually use a little tamari to finish it. But typically what I do is I use California olive oil, which is fun, right? And then I just load it up with a bunch of veggies that I tend to keep on hand. And I wanted to do this today because I wanted to show you kind of how sad some of these things are looking in my fridge and why they're going to be the perfect addition to this fried rice. Capital wrinkly red pepper. The fennel has seen better days. The celery has as well. It doesn't look quite so sad right there. But if you had any also cooked or shredded chicken from a recipe before, I just had these fat little chicken tenderloins, the organic ones that my family's constantly buying because they're inexpensive and they cook quickly. Of course, I would prefer to do bone-in, skin-on chicken whenever I can, like I did last night, actually, with that country captain chicken. But for a high protein lunch for myself, this is a really easy way to go, and I have it. So, hi, Ellen. Thanks for joining. So, you guys, here's all I'm going to do. I'm going to use one pan for this. I'm just sauteing my chicken until it's fairly cooked through. I've only got salt on it, so a little more for flavor. And then I'm going to saute some aromatics in this pan before I add the veggies and the rice. And all of those will really get that flavor will get soaked up into the fish. So this just takes about another minute. Let me get a bowl to put this in. I can see the oil coming off, and I'm laughing because it's probably hitting my phone, right? Then we're going to talk about the great things happening on Substack and why I would love for you to join me here as a subscriber for $5 a month, $5.99 if you go monthly. But you guys, Substack is where it's happening. They just announced that they're launching TV streaming, which basically just means that they're doing more of this, right? They're encouraging more video. And so as I launch everything I'm doing, including a podcast, live cooking classes every single week, actually 2 or 3 times a week, to be honest, all of my new recipes and my blog, it's all happening here. This is the network, basically. So think of it as my television channel. And we're going to dive deep into aging, all the things that we, particularly as women, are dealing with as we age. And it's just going to be amazing. And so this is where I want all of my content to start. right? This is like where you can find everything that I'm doing. And I'm considering it like when people are like, oh, should I subscribe? I'm like, think of it like a culinary and wellness Netflix subscription. And for $5 a month, you're going to get a lot to pay attention to, right? Okay. So let me get that little plate I was talking about. I just get so excited to talk to you guys. I'm going to give you 5 really great reasons why you should, join me here as a subscriber in case you haven't yet. All of you I know are, free subscribers, which is amazing. And some of you might already be paid. Okay. Hold on. Let's get the chicken plate I need. Actually, I'm just going to use and I'm gonna open up the window. You guys, we don't have any ventilation in the kitchen. Also, it's hilarious. It's just like all of the oil and grease just pop around. Okay. That looks pretty cooked to me. Let's just try the biggest piece. Don't ever stick your hand in the pan like I do. I just like to continue to break the rules. Turn that off for a minute. Oops. And I'm going to unplug it just so we can hear ourselves say while I finish chopping things. Okay, so there's my chicken. And that's probably more than 4 ounces. It's probably 5 or 6. So I'm looking at 30, 40 grams of protein right there. And if you saw me at Michelle Tam's house in Portland this week, you heard us talking a lot about um, protein and fiber. And fiber is not something that I've focused on enough. And so Michelle, besides being like the paleo expert, and she was a pharmacist, she also, I always forget, was a nutrition major and food sciences. So she knows a ton. So she reminded me of some really great things for how to get more fiber into my diet. So that's another thing we're going to be talking about over here at Amanda Haas Cook / House of Haas is creating recipes for you where they're so delicious you don't even realize you're getting everything that you need in your diet, right? So that's kind of how I've always approached it anyhow. Like, let's stop talking about why you can't have this or why you can't have that. And let's just make flippin' delicious food that happens to be great for us. So in terms of fiber and some crunch in this today, I'm just using up some very old celery. It's going to be just fine. It's not perfect. Guess what? We're going to cook it anyhow. I tore off the worst looking fennel leaves. Can you see how it's brown right there? Like the one on top was all like that. And so I'm just kind of pulling those off. And then I cored it without even thinking about it. The core is just there. I used my knife to just cut a little triangle and cut out the core. Can you see that? Oops. So when you put it back together, the core was right down there, and we don't want to eat the core because it's tough and unexciting. It's just not going to taste good. Hi, Marion. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Libby. Hi, Helene. Everybody who's joining me. I'm just doing a live cooking show to show you my easiest, most approachable fried rice using leftover rice from last night. And as Michelle Tam reminded us this week, when you refrigerate carbohydrates like pasta and rice overnight, it actually, I'm going to be misquoted here, they're better for you the next day. I think that they affect your glycemic index less, right? So they're better for your blood sugar if you eat them the next day, if you heat them up. Isn't that nuts? They actually get better for you. So I think fried rice tastes absolutely amazing. And I love that it's a leftover dish, right? Okay, I've had these carrots I haven't done a single thing with. I'm not even going to peel one. I'm just going to, yep, they still have a little front. I'm going to rinse it to get the dirt off, but I'm going to eat the skin. I am absolutely fine with that. And I think it tastes good. So normally you guys, if I were cooking a recipe for you all, I would have all of this meased out in advance, right? And I would be talking to you about why I do that and how nice it is to have all of that done. But I'm just making myself lunch on the fly today. And so I thought it would be fun to show you kind of the steps that I have to go through and see how long it takes when I really haven't planned ahead at all. I'm just trying to dice these carrots kind of to be the same size as the celery so that they cook kind of at the same time, right? I don't need that whole carrot. It's going to be like too much veg because I want a little onion too. But the other thing is in my version of fried rice, I'm okay if the veggies and chicken outweigh the rice ratio because I'm getting more stuff that's good for me, which I love. So look at all of that. I don't even think I'm going to use my red pepper. I'm going to save that for something else tonight. I might actually roast it and then just peel it and put strips of it in a salad or make pepperonata with it. Mm. Um, Onion, red onion. I don't want to use a lot of red onion. I just always need a little onion of some sort. And because I'm cooking on this induction cooktop, I'm trying to save gas. Because you guys, my gas bill was horrific. Uh, like it was 3/4 of my electric bill, and it was so expensive. And so I'm trying to use my induction cooktop, which I love, more than my range until I get a new range because it's actually induction based. So that's the scoop there. So I just bought a little bit of onion. Oh, but my point was when you use a gas cooktop, the gas keeps you from crying when you cut onions. When you use, I don't know what the combination is, the makeup of the of gas fire with the onion, where it prevents you from crying. But that is not the case with this induction cooktop. So look at how beautiful this is. I'm just going to put my whole rainbow in the pan. And yes, I'll turn it on in a minute. I realize it's not on, but that is just fine by me. So the fennel is sweet and licoricey. If you don't like fennel raw, try cooking it and see what you think. It's just like so beautiful with onions and celery. And I really like it any which way, but most people tend to like it because it caramelizes really beautiful. It's so sweet and it's beautiful addition to soups, stuffings. I always put it in rices and grains when I have it on hand. So let's see what I did. I'm trying to clean as I go, which is not my biggest talent. And then so I've got my chicken, right? These are just going to be the base vegetables for this. And then this is my rice from last night. Why is it so yellow? I cooked it in bone broth and then it got a little bit of the tomato sauce from the Country Captain's chicken on it, I think. So I don't know. My son took it to lunch at work with him today. I don't know what happened, but it's very colorful. It would be helpful if I plugged this back in. So let's do that, shall we? I'm dying laughing because I'm trying to make this kitchen look a little bit more exciting for you all. And so I keep moving this marble island around. And then I was like, oh, I'll throw in a plant. You can't even see the plant. And the plant is basically in the induction cooktop. So not my best idea, but I'm going to make it cute in here. I think I'm going to have to switch it and paint this wall behind me and make it bright and sunny. Okay. I'm going to do a little more sesame oil since I was already going down that route. If you were doing a typical fried rice, sesame oil would be great. I use olive oil all the time, kind of as my oil of choice for an avocado oil, which has a really high smoke point, which is good for us, meaning it doesn't mess up the compounds in the oil at a certain temperature. And so it retains its health benefits even when you're cooking over higher heat. I need a sip of water because I have a little carrot stuck in my throat. Seasoning, you guys, as you go, so important. So, wow, I'm going to list the 5 reasons why I want you to join me here on Substack for my House of Haas. Let's just call it House of Haas television, right? Substack announced, you guys, that they're launching TV, which I think all that means is that for live streamers like me, people who love to be on here cooking live, they're just going to make it a bigger part of the platform. So I'm not going to stop writing. I mean, Substack started as a place where people can just write and share their thoughts and people can come and follow for that. I love that. And people who follow me here tend to really just be interested in my work. Yeah. They know that this is the one place where I've kind of let it rip in terms of being myself, you know? I started blogging here as an outlet to replace kind of what I used to do when I used to blog from One Family, One Meal when my kids were really young. And it's just like being honest about life, right? And even if that's just meal planning and trying to get kids fed, for me, it was really hard because we were struggling financially and I needed to figure out how to do it on $200 a week for a family of 4, and that was for every single meal, right? So it became this really fun challenge for me to share with all of you. And then over time, I've always been pretty forthcoming about my life. I don't try to share details about my loved ones' lives that they wouldn't want out there, but I'm very open about divorce and my health issues and um, empty nesting, which has been great for me. But these are things I love to talk about. And so Substack will continue to be the place where I just show up as myself. And it's actually, we're going to dig deeper into some of these topics. So I am starting a podcast section on here. So I'll be interviewing and talking to, let's just say talking to some really interesting people in the health space, the wellness space, um, and then just like the life space. Like there's a woman who's a divorce attorney that I've just gotten to know her work some, and she just got divorced herself, and her perspective is so fantastic. I wish I'd known her when I went through a divorce 10 years ago, right? All of the talk about hormone health, about autoimmune diseases, and there's just like the joyful things in life and the people that I've met who contribute and add so much to my life, like Jennifer Freed, Shannon Watt, both amazing voices here on Substack who've become dear friends who bring so much to my life, and it has nothing to do with how I cook and eat, right? So I just have access to so many incredible voices, and I can't wait to lift them up here and share them with all of you. It's going to be really fun. And then, of course, this is where I'm going to cook. So, cooking live, this is where all of my live cooking will happen. And I'll start posting one recipe, one class a week. We're going to do Mondays at noon for sure. I'm always going to do a live meal planning class for my paid subscribers every week, you guys. And then I'll do probably a Wednesday wellness class in terms of cooking. I'm tempted to add a third live class for my subscribers because I just want to do this all the time with you. And there are so many topics I can dig into, but we'll start there. And then as a subscriber, as I swim through the steam, you'll be able to go back and access them whenever you want, right? You've got your own like Amanda Haas website channel here on Substack, and all of it is for you to keep forever. So it's going to be some fun. We're going to have a lot of fun here. We already are, you guys. I'm just going to get better about telling you when it's happening. Like the fact that I was with Michelle Tam this week, non paleo, and she was just basically like a wealth of knowledge on that video where I made the tuna milk for Heated Rivalry. She's incredible. I learn so much from her every time I go somewhere with her, and I'm lucky enough to go stay with her for 3 days and just soak up her wisdom and her friendship. She's really smart. And she's not here on Substack because she's just like brushing it with her email and with her website. If you don't know her, non paleo, she's just phenomenal. She's just a gem, as I like to say. A total gem. Okay, so my veggies are looking good. You guys, I'm keeping this so simple. I have a couple herbs to put in at the end. Too lazy to chop garlic. But dang, these taste yummy. I want the carrot to cook just a little bit more. And then I'm going to add the rice. And I'm just going to pile the rice on, okay? Because I'm going to make this the easiest I can. You could certainly take it out and then just put all the rice on the bottom. Actually, let's do that because I've already cooked my chicken, right? Let me show you what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to do one little trick that is typical of fried rice, and that is I'm going to add a pinch of sugar to it. I normally don't do this, but it helps crisp it up. So like we can afford it, a pinch of sugar, can we not? I know. Do as I say, not as I do. Do not put your hand in the pan like I'm doing. Not smart. But I'm just picking at carrots on the top. Okay. Boy, induction is fantastic. So yeah, you guys, we're going to be kicking booty over here on Substack all the time. Okay, so look at all of that beautiful chicken and veg I already have, right? This would be a sin in most cooking. But because I think there's so much caramelization on here, it might taste a little burnt, and I do not want that. So I'm gonna wipe it, and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, that's like burnt. That's not like good caramelized. And can you do fried rice in a nonstick pan? This is also a little non-traditional. I'm here to tell you that you can. Just don't call it traditional fried rice. Call it California, Amanda. It's not going to be probably quite as frizzy. However, let's get that little pinch of sugar. I'm about to see. Excuse me. Ew! Ew! Excuse me. Ew! You guys. Ah. I've been so allergic. Hi, Karen. Hi, Emily. Hi, Letty. Hi, Sandy. Okay, organic cane sugar. So here's what we're going to do, folks. I'm going to sneeze again. This is just for me. So I'm sneezing my allergies on my own food. And I'm going to do, let's get it hot. You could certainly stir fry an egg like Michelle and I did the other night in Portland and stir fry, cook an egg or two and mix it into this. I'm not going to do that. I have so much protein already. And then I'm going to look up the fiber of this dish because with the celery, carrot, I don't know how much fiber is in these ingredients. Michelle would know right away. Okay, I'm just going to use my hand because I want to sprinkle this right. I don't need to cut. Oh yeah, on the bottom is the tomatoey part. That's hilarious. This is definitely California fried rice. What the? I'm not going to need this much rice, but who cares? Um, The other thing you guys will notice, and why I encourage you to join me, my House of Haas channel, let's just start calling it television over here so people understand that, like, you can get everything here that you would get on a TV channel, right? I think that that's why Substack has caught on and that they're going to lean into this so much. But one of the things you get when you cook with me or you hear me interacting with people and interviewing people is like, let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, what's real life like? I love talking to people who maybe, what's the word I'm trying to articulate? I know a lot of people who live really exciting lives who might not be quite so normal, right? But at the end of the day, there are certain things we all have to do, like eat. This is the sprinkling of sugar I just told you about. But it won't do anything if you don't like you mix it around, right? You do want it to actually hit the bottom of the pan and get really crispy. And so I just like to keep it real with people. Like there are certain things we all have to do. And there are certain things we can all relate to. And I think that I've realized over time as I've talked more about my health struggle with Lyme and mast cell activation and blah, 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 and back surgeries and everything else. You guys are interested in chronic pain and chronic fatigue because I'm trying to run a business and live my life. And I can't, it's really challenging some days with the way I feel. And so the more honest I am with you, I think the more you guys appreciate it because I'm not just like, I can't find a nice way to say this. Hi, Paul Randall. I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm just sharing my real life with you all, right? This is really getting crispy and yummy. Yum. You want it to get crispy on the bottom of the pan, okay? So yeah, we keep it real around here, always. And hopefully that makes it relatable because you guys know that this is my real life. This isn't just somebody messing around or getting paid to fake it, right? This is me, my health, my recipes, my cooking, put everything back in there, you guys, just to combine it. I can see all the yummy parts on the bottom of the pan, but it's harder to see against nonstick. But I'm going to show it to you anyhow. Can you see the crispiness right there? This pan's too heavy to hold like this for long. But it's my favorite pan from Heston nonstick. I think it's called their Pro Bond. I put it up on my Shop My page because you guys know I love my Heston pans so much. But this and the 5-quart essential pan are the pans I use the most. And yes, here I go, putting my hands in a hot pan again. I'm aware of the fact that this is stupid. Just so we're clear, I'm very aware of the fact that what I'm doing is not smart. I'm trying to get all of the chicken out because I want all the protein, right? But that is a big, big meal. I'm even going to do this for you all. So this is a great example of how I like to cook. I almost did another salad for you guys, but boy, do I do a lot of salads at lunchtime. Let me get something to taste this with and keep it real for you. And then we'll take it from there. Okay, let's give it a taste, shall we? I know it's really hot, but I'm trying to get a little bit of everything. I have the chicken, carrot, rice, fennel. I see a little toasted almond in there because the rice had almonds in it last night. It's so good. Another reason to join me is you can't fake happiness when I cook. If it doesn't taste good, you guys will know it. I always giggle when I make something tasty because I'm like, "Ooh, I did that." It's really fun. So I hope you have fun hanging out with me, you guys. I will be here all the time. And if you do like what I do, I would appreciate it so much if you spread the word. And I also offer it's $5.99 a month, but it's only $5 a month if you join for the year, right? So you can always try me out for a month and see what you think. There's also a VIP membership for $123 a year. But also, if you buy memberships for other people, you save 20% across the board. Okay. So, if you want to support me, thank you. I appreciate it so much. And just thanks for hanging. I'm going to go enjoy my delightful little lunch and then get on with my workday. Catch you later. Ciao.